Good morning with love.
Welcome back to Good Morning with Love. We have with us a very interesting young lady, Miss Anthea McGibbon. Anthea, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're
With
most
love.
welcome. Now, Anthea, we know that you are the founder of the OAaSIS Foundation. Tell us, what is the OAaSIS Foundation?
Okay, first of all, OASIS International Foundation. The acronym OASIS means Operate, Advance, and Serve in Skills. The foundation exists to network persons who are creative and accomplished, to empower the creative mind of today's youth and anyone who feels young at heart.
That means if you're not really youth, but
Youthful.
you think you're youthful, then you're welcome. Well, that sounds good. So, how did you come about starting this foundation?
Well, for over 20 years, I started art clubs across Jamaica, in churches and communities and other locations. And it became a bit challenging as I alone was operating and teaching and coming up with the programs.
Okay.
So when I started working at the cleaner, it became challenging for me, even more challenging to find the time. And I wanted to help more young people to understand what the arts is about. So I started a foundation to facilitate more persons coming aboard to help more persons.
Right. And by arts, you're not just speaking about visual arts only.
It's a combination of all the art expressions: visual, literary, performing, and culinary.
That's excellent. And now we have some of your art pieces on display. This lovely portrait here is something you did. And what was your inspiration?
Okay, this particular piece is from my series called Orchid Aroma, and it was done because my name Anthe means flower. My favorite flower is an orchid, so of course I did a series of orchids, and the more I did them, the more persons wanted to buy them or to have a piece. So therefore I did them in acrylic, oil, pastel, and so on. I also use it to demonstrate to persons when I'm teaching about linear lines and perspectives.
Nice. Well, you seem to have a very deep passion for art and for painting in particular. Is that right?
I have a deep passion for creation. I love to see things transform from blank space to something that's impacting.
Okay.
And what I love most is the entire story and aspect of creation as we have learned it. God being a creator, bringing something from nothing. And we as humans are like an extension of creation. And what we do in our art is reflect who He is and what He has done for us.
Right.
So we use paint to somehow replicate what we see around us. Any form that you choose, we're just actually reflecting the inspiration of God, being
Right.
the original creator.
Well, they say art is life. Would you say that your Christian background has been a major influence in your inspiration to be an artist?
Yes, I do. Because I believe artists, whether performing visually, culinary, or literary, I believe they should reflect who God is. He is the original creator, and as I said earlier, He brought something from nothing. And I believe that art, how we relate and communicate, also has to do with us transforming and bringing things into being so that we can be impacting and influencing and inspirational to others. So yes, I do believe, because the creation story is based on the Christian principles as taught by the Bible.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. But tell us about more about the motives of the foundation. I mean, what do you hope to achieve ultimately?
There are several objectives of the foundation. As priority, I'd like for each Jamaican, starting with the youth, to understand their true worth, why they were created, their potential, and in achieving that or recognizing that, they will be better able to advance themselves and to understand how to accomplish, regardless of what career path they choose. They need to understand their creative power.
Right.
And also, when I was growing up, I don't know about you, but when in my time, persons were of the belief that the visual artist was just someone who would sit on the street side and beg someone to buy his art, and they would not understand the messages that were being told through the art
And the hard work,
and
the
hard work.
talent.
But more importantly, they could not relate to artists being a part of the creative process. So I would like for more persons to be sensitized to what the careers are in arts. Not many people know of the varied careers such as being an architect, forensic science, photography. So through the foundation, we also expose the residents of Jamaica to what careers in art are like. In a city communities, for example, there are people who speak of wanting to be a beanie man, but everyone cannot be a singer. There has to be someone who writes, there has to be someone who choreographs, there has to be someone who does the stage, there has to be someone who designs the clothes
That's
that
so
you wear
true.
and your
Yeah.
makeup application, and I could go on. There are so many careers, at least 200 careers.
Definitely.
But persons are just relating to what is before them.
Right. And what's obviously where the emphasis is placed, you know, that's
Right.
what they
Right, and so
gravitate
we're stifled as a nation. And when we go abroad, sometimes Jamaicans are intimidated. So I would like for them to understand their value.
Right. What are some of the communities that you have impacted, and where is the foundation located? What's the actual location?
The headquarters of the foundation is at the Gallery Barrington, which is the office of our first patron, Barrington Watson. And we are a traveling foundation, so we're not stationary in terms of, you won't walk into an office and be able to speak to us. We're always on the road.
Okay.
So some of the communities where we work include Trenchtown, Port Royal. We have several communities in the rural areas. Right now, one of our current projects, the library, is being built in Sargentville. That's in the Edward Peace community, servicing 10,000 persons from neighboring communities, and that's in St. Catherine.
That's very good. Now we have this book here that you brought with you. It's Lamb of God to See Intervention, Think Divine. And it was contributed by one of your patrons. Tell us about the support that you get from your patrons. I mean, is that one of the ways in which you're able to perhaps maintain the foundation?
Well, today the foundation is 2 years old.
Okay.
And so far, we've not really had the need for major funding because we've basically taken advantage of our pool of creativity. That's where our focus is.
Okay.
We want to get people to understand what creativity is about. So our most valuable asset are the skills and the creative power and the talents of our members. And so our patrons come in. Our patrons become relevant as they operate as consultants. And well, just this month we're starting our fundraising activities.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we launched that with the Sweet Jamaica Gallery, where different artists pool their works to earn for themselves, and then they contribute a percentage to the projects of the foundations.
Okay.
We have a lot of art, and we have some on display today.
Evidently. So these pieces are done by actual patrons who are also artists themselves.
The pieces that surround us now are contributed from different members. But our patrons are from the different fields of art. We
Okay.
have Barrington Watson, who owns the gallery. We have Fahrenheit, who is everything. He's a dancer, he's a musician, he's a graphic artist. Not many people know that, and he's an actor. And we have Henry Eccleston, whose book you have in your hand. He's a painter, he's a poet, he owns a radio station in New York, where he lives. And we have Bill and Chris King, who are patrons from Canada. They own the Jazz Report magazine, and they are musicians themselves. So what they have helped the foundation to do so far is to formulate actual programs. I don't think many persons are aware that Barrington Watson is the reason we can set art as an exam in schools today. A long time ago, he sat with the Ministry of Education and formulated the syllabus.
And made sure that it became a part of the curriculum.
Right, it was right. So right now, the patrons, although they are available with funding where necessary, the foundation is not about relying on funds from persons. It's about teaching persons how to turn their hand and make fashion and to earn from their God-given skills. So we start with the patrons who are successful based on their skills, their existing skills. So from Bill and Chris King, who are in Canada, being musicians, to Barrington Watson and Alexander Cooper and Howard William, who are visual artists. As you can, with some research, then you'll realize that they are accomplished, not for anything more than their skills.
Okay.
So,
but how do you make these linkages? How do you manage to form these relationships with people, and how does one become a part of the foundation?
All right, the first question, how do I make the links?
Right.
Long before I went to Gleaner, I've been a networking person. And
Okay.
I'm always teaching. I teach mathematics, art, English, and swimming. And I'm always volunteer. I did a lot of volunteering. And my church, then, the Apostolic Church of Jamaica Bethel Temple, being a part of the Full Gospel Ministries, they were well networked also. So a number of links came through my church operations, and then through my volunteering with the Kingston YMCA and at the Little Club. And
so just networking all over, meeting people, approaching them, and asking them to be a part of the foundation.
I did some, no, that's not how it went. I did some work with my church on a missionary field that took me to other countries, and I met other persons. And then after my experience at the Gleaner Company, 14 years as a writer, persons came to be aware of my work because I critiqued art, and I was responsible for the religion feature for at least 10 years. So persons who got involved and admired my work, they asked me what are the things that I wanted to be involved in, and I just spoke to them about my foundation. I thought it was a good idea, so just came aboard to lend support, and I find that it attracts a number of people as I go along. We have persons who are not even artists, such as Cordell Green. He's one of the consultants. We have Bible Engager, the former editor of the Gleaner. We have Colonel Oscar Darby, who is from civil aviation. And we have a number of lawyers and other persons. And we have chemists, and we have persons from UTech.
People from all over, every field.
And also I had some experience at Gallard in Florida. They usually sold my art. So through them, I also met a number of persons throughout Florida. And because of my travels, I'm always meeting people. People always wanted to talk to me about. And I just, me personally, I have an agenda to promote everything arts and culture of Jamaica. I want it realized and seen and placed at the apex of the globe.
As it should be. A
rich
rich culture.
Because
so much to offer.
Yes, we do. And I think Jamaicans are highly talented, and they just do not understand it. I think they get sidestepped by what they're exposed to. Most of us, when we go to school, we learn how to come out and work for someone else, but we're not taught how to be entrepreneurial. And creative persons are entrepreneurial. Rex Netterford, he always said that if you want to know where the progress of the society rests, look at how it treats its artists. And I firmly agree with him. And well, if you have a gift,
Yes.
how else is someone going to know about it and to be able to appreciate it if you don't express it?
Well, sometimes you don't even know that you have that gift.
Well,
So I think the importance of your foundation is helping people to realize their potential, and not only realize it, but appreciate it and benefit from it.
and to use it as a vital tool in advancing themselves. Because you're right, many persons are not aware of their own talent, and it is my personal belief that everyone created, especially Jamaicans, each person has a gift, be it visual. It's like a choir. I think everybody can sing. It's just that they have not found their setting. So someone who sings contralto would probably want to sing bass or soprano. That really sounds awful. But when they learn the pitch, you know,
Right.
then, and so
they're-
artists, you have to be an artist first of all to know how to coordinate your clothes, how to apply your makeup, how to walk. Because even though we have mobilization skills, which is another thing we teach. We teach children how to overcome challenges in numeracy and literacy. Because Jamaica is a visual society, and they learn things orally first, based on our history from slavery. So we want to get them to use their negatives and convert them into positives and advance themselves. I notice also that when we are challenged and we are without material wealth, I notice that that's when we get
You draw
creative.
on whatever else is around you.
And I've realized that a number of Jamaicans, they can invent, but unfortunately they use their creative power to do negative things, like invent crime and make guns. So I want the foundation exists to just help the average Jamaican to just level, just be realistic, keep it real, understand who they are, understand what they can do with their hands, understand not to be a copycat, understand not to be Americanized, not to be Englandized, not to be Chinese. You know, I have nothing against other countries, but I'm just in love with Jamaica. I'm in love with who we are.
We need to embrace our
I'm in love
own.
with the motto out of anyone people. I'm in love with the fact that we're God blessed and we're due an earthquake, but we are still yet to have it. I'm in love with that, and I just want people to understand who we are, our strengths, and you know, to help us to advance individually first, and as communities, and as a nation, and as a nation country. I want us to get there. I think we can if we unite. So through our creative skills, we first learn how to bond. We first learn how to appreciate. I mean, in America, creative people do not necessarily have to beg for money. When they form entities, people give them money because they admire them. Jamaicans need to first appreciate who we are.
No, we definitely do, and we have a long way to go in terms of realizing our potential. But I think with foundations like yours,
Time is cut short.
it definitely is something that we're moving towards, and I congratulate you. I think you should be very proud of what you've established so far, and I wish you all the best. I hope it continues to grow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
I hope you all come aboard and volunteer.
Oh, we can come.
15.
Well, that's why I was asking to find out how you become a part of it.
It's very simple, you know. You can send an email to register yourself. We have several ongoing projects.
What's the email address?
Well, they can send to admin@oasisinternational.org.
That's admin@oasisinternational.org.
OASIS with 2 A's, please.
OASIS with 2 A's.
And we have a Picnic International Creative Club that we're starting up now.
Oh, well, that's exciting. So there you have it. Email. Is there a number that we can call?
Sure. They can call 530-5744 or 812-7177. or they can call 978-7424, the headquarters location.
Well, that's 3 numbers, email address. We can't say we don't have any contact information for you, right?
Website.
And the website. That's the OAaSIS Foundation with 2 A's. Thank you, Anthea.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's love. Good morning.